I want to say that, like all of you, I found out about the charges against Wendy and Eddie Osefo on Friday morning, and there's not much that I can say. I know nothing of the charges more than you guys do, than what I've read. I'm sad about this. I'm really sad about this. And, Wendy is just, I'm a Wendy fan. And she has been a great housewife and a great role model she's always led with education and her solid family values. And so that's what, I'm really thinking about her and her family. And I'm certainly hoping that this is all some big, nothing. And, by the way, last night's Watch What Happens Live, we had taped that before I went to LA. So that is why you did not hear me asking Ashley her thoughts on that, in case you were wondering.
Yes, please do that. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. I wanted to take this time to say thank you to Fumi Nation. You touched my heart in these last couple of days in a way that I really was taken aback. And I just wanted to start by saying thank you. I was scrolling through a lot of footage that I had on my computer because I'm changing computers. And I found Fumski. A lot of you know her, Fumski Fumushka, the strutting lady that I used to have in the beginning of my videos. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 years back. And I was astounded at how many of you remembered her. And that just let me know how long so many of you have been following me. I was so shocked, and I don't know why, but I'm just so humbled at your loyalty, at your support, your dedication through all of these phases. I had that dancing lady before Adrian was born, and Adrian is 7. So thank you so very, very, very much indeed. And I was emotional because I saw her and I thought, let me just put her, onto the episode. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even think that you would notice, remember. And so many of you did. It was given to me as a gift. It was an old girlfriend of mine who said, Fumi, she reminds me so much of you. And I put her on there because you remind me so much of her. I meet you on the streets, on the plane, everywhere. And you're so strong and powerful and vivacious and energetic and determined. It is a representation of Fumi Nation. So it wasn't mine, and I got a bit nervous because Fumi Nation grew. And I just thought to myself that I could get sued. So that was why I tried to make a second one, of which you said you don't like. So I'm going to figure it out still, but she's here for now. And I'm so happy you thoroughly enjoy her. I am wearing my fabulous t-shirt. Yes, eating my salads and minding my business, my darlings. I hope you live and love. Thank you so very much for the continuous support. We have sold out of the extra small. We've sold out of the medium. We've sold out of the large. In black, we still have white. And I just had to say thank you, my darlings. Yes, we are ordering more. and I live and love them. I wear them literally every day, and they just give me so much joy. Then the skirt is by Tote London. Is that not fabulous? Is that not fabulous? Yes, baby. I'm promoting my brand as well as other brands. Why not? You know, there's room for all of us. And so thank you very much, Tote London. I live and love this skirt. It's giving me autumn vibes. Okie dokie. Why are we here? Tell you why we're here. A lot of you sent me messages. You even sent me messages here on this channel that why was I not talking about Wendy and Eddie Osefo. I had never heard of them. Hand on my heart, that is the truth. I didn't know who they were. And so I did a little digging, and I found out that they are reality stars on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Let me know in the comments if you want me to review these reality shows. I will do it. I live for them. I think they're so much fun. I just don't know what you want sometimes. And so if I see high ratings in certain episodes, then I will go in that direction because the majority wins. So let me know if you want me to do Real Housewives of New York, New Jersey, Miami, and so on, and I will gladly do it. I also think that I got a lot of messages from this because she's Nigerian, or she's of Nigerian heritage as I. And I don't shy away from anything. I know that some of you are new and some of you have been here longer, so you know me. I am a very upright individual. I truly am. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And I don't make promises I cannot keep. And I will not shy away from anything, no matter how uncomfortable. Not allegedly, but outright. I feel that this couple, they're an absolute disgrace. And it's an embarrassment, and it is a shame. We have to be able to call it what it is. I've heard it my entire life. Nigerians are fraudulent. Nigerians, they come out here with the 4-1 key. Nigerians and their 4-1 key. 419. Yes, Nigerians and their 419. And it's something that I said, well, Nigeria is a huge country. You know, we got bad eggs like everybody else. But for the mere fact that Wendy, who has a PhD, you would consider her to be very intelligent, and her husband, a lawyer, with 3 children, to be indicted on multiple fraud accounts in relation to a false break-in they said they had last year, April, my birthday month of all months. And there were no signs of break-ins. The security cameras didn't capture anybody there. They claimed on 3 separate insurances, which you cannot do. You cannot claim on an insurance and say, you know what, this was stolen from me, I want to recoup the money. Then you go to another insurance claim and yet another insurance claim. Because what happens is that if you bought something for 100 and one insurance claim gives you the 100 back, you are stealing because you are making that 300 because you're taking it from different insurances. And this was a total of 400,000+, of which emails corresponding between Wendy and her husband proves right there. They spent the night in jail. They were arrested in their homes. I wonder who took care of the 3 children.
And arrest of Wendy and Edward Osefo of the 1900 block of Turnberry Court in Finksburg, Maryland. Both Wendy and Edward are reality actors in the series The Real Housewives of Potomac, Maryland, which is filmed partially from their residence in Finksburg, Maryland, an hour away. On April 7, 2024, at approximately 10:13 p.m., deputies responded to a residence in the 1900 block of Turnberry Court in Finksburg for a reported burglary. Edward Osefo called 911 to report the burglary. Edward and Wendy Osefo, both from Finksburg, live at that address, and they have 3 school-aged children. They reported that their home had been burglarized sometime between April 2nd and April 7th of 2024 while they were on vacation in Jamaica. The house would have been vacant at the time with no one house sitting, No one had a key to the residence according to the Osefos. The Osefos claimed that designer handbags and jewelry valued at more than $200,000 were missing from the primary residence bedroom upstairs. Responding patrol deputies handled the burglary according to policy and made contact with investigators with my major crimes unit to assist because of the dollar amount that was stolen. Crime scene investigators came to the scene the night of the report to process the scene for fingerprints, DNA, and anything of evidentiary value. And while I'm there, I want to thank the state police. They actually responded, and the superintendent of the state police, Colonel Butler, I want to thank him for working with us on the case and providing resources. It should be noted that the residence does have interior and exterior surveillance cameras. None of the cameras picked up any motion or indicated a breach inside of the house. Cameras also did not pick up any suspicious activity outside of the residence during the time the Osefos were away from the residence. Detectives also checked surveillance cameras from neighbors. No evidence of a break-in or suspicious activity was noted at the Osefos' residence. Patrol deputies and detectives found no signs of forced entry or physical evidence of a burglary, such as footprints, fingerprints, or any entry point. The Osefos alleged that the burglar came in through a second-story window into the master bedroom. There was no evidence inside the residence that someone made an attempt to get into the residence through that particular window. No evidence indicated that anyone attempted to enter the house. The bedroom upstairs where the theft occurred was ransacked. The mattress was thrown off of the bed onto the floor to give an indication that a burglary did occur. Initial responding deputies again called our investigators because of the high dollar amount that was stolen. After the initial report, following days, we made contact with 3 separate insurance companies that the Osefos used to insure their property, which is common with this loss this type of loss that detectives actually communicate with insurance companies to share information. In the days following the initial report, the Osefos contacted detectives several times to provide additional information about the alleged burglary, evidence, and missing items. They also reported the loss to their insurance company. Again, the Osefos alleged and claimed that just over $200,000 in items were stolen from the burglary. Weeks after the alleged burglary, detectives discovered Mrs. Osefo had posted photos on social media wearing jewelry that matched items she had reported stolen, specifically a diamond anniversary band. Detectives were provided receipts by the Osefos for the loss of items that they had purchased dating as far back as 2018. On those receipts were email addresses. We had become suspicious that this was a false claim. On those receipts were email addresses, which detectives authored search and seizure warrants so that they could access both the Osefos' email accounts to attempt to acquire more evidence. The emails provided additional evidence that indicated this was a fraudulent claim, specifically Edward's communication with Wendy, and I quote, "Are there additional high-value items we can add to this inventory list? I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum." Over the next several months, detectives worked diligently to verify the information provided and to locate the reported stolen property. It was later confirmed that Mrs. Osefo had returned several of those same items valued at over $20,000 to the place that she originally purchased prior to the alleged burglary. We can see as far back as 2018 and several items that had been purchased in 18 and receipts supplied to the insurance company, only those items had been returned to the purchaser or to the store that she purchased them from during the window in 2018 of the return policy. Meaning if it was a 90-day return policy back in 2018, she actually returned those items within that 90-day period. Those receipts were supplied to us, and those receipts were supplied to her insurance company and were alleged by the Osefos to be stolen in the original burglary. Based on a thorough investigation conducted by detectives in my office in coordination with the Carroll County State's Attorney's Office, it became clear that the Osefos had fabricated the burglary and filed a false report and attempted to fraud their insurance company. On October 29th, 2025, the case was presented to a Carroll County grand jury, which returned indictments against both Edward and Wendy Osefo on multiple counts of fraud and false reporting. Both individuals were located and taken into custody at their Turnberry Court address on the afternoon of October 9th, yesterday, by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office detectives. Deputies executed a search and seizure warrant at the residence during the arrest. An additional 15 items that were believed to be reported stolen by the Osefos during the initial report were also located during that search and seizure warrant. Those items included jewelry and high-end handbags. The Osefos were booked into the Carroll County Detention Center and later released on $50,000 bonds, or with $50,000 bond. Real quick, I'd like to acknowledge the work that my office did, Detective Richie Harbaugh. My detectives, they're just absolutely amazing. Richie's one of the finest detectives on the planet. High praise for him. Also, the Carroll County State's Attorney's Office, Mr. Shoemaker, Mr. Culver, and Melissa Hockensmith is who handled the case for the State's Attorney's Office and has been working with us diligently on this case. I'll now turn it over to the State's Attorney if he has some comments, and then we'll answer any questions you guys may have.
Okay, good afternoon. In response to the various media inquiries that I've gotten today in connection with this matter, I've indicated to everybody, and I want to emphasize it again, as a threshold matter, that all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So I want to get that out front. As the sheriff indicated yesterday, the defendants were indicted by the grand jury for Carroll County in connection with Wendy Osefo. It was 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statement to a police officer. They posted bail this morning. So also, in addition to what the sheriff alluded to a few moments ago, I'd like to note that the investigation in this matter, and I certainly want to give props to Detective Harbaugh, who worked in close proximity with my Deputy State's Attorney, Melissa Hockensmith, in connection with this matter. But the investigation determined that on April 8th, 2024, the Osefos initiated 3 separate insurance claims for the alleged burglary and theft that occurred at their residence. And those were against Travelers Insurance, Jewelers Mutual Insurance, and Homesite Insurance Company for their alleged losses. Mr. Osefo gave recorded statements to 2 of the insurance companies regarding a list of stolen items. He was also asked whether any of the items on the list had been returned, which he denied. He was asked if he had other insurance but failed to disclose to Homesite and Jewelers that he was also making a claim with Travelers. For a Homesite insurance, both Edward and Wendy signed a sworn statement of loss, which was notarized. The total amount of loss claimed on the sworn statement of loss was $2,500 for the damage to the building itself and $450,000 estimated for contents and personal property. He included an inventory of reported stolen items along with receipts for the purchase of most of the items on the inventory. That claim was denied due to the failure to disclose the policy with Travelers. And in the original claim submitted on April 8th, 2024 to Travelers, Edward is alleged to have confirmed that he and his wife were wearing their anniversary bands when the loss occurred. However, Edward called Travelers on April 10th, 2024, and said he needed to update their claims, stating that his wife's gold diamond anniversary band was missing. So that same day, Travelers settled the claim for $25,380, which included the replacement price of the band, which was $4,500. After the initial reported claim on April 11th, both Wendy and Edward signed and submitted letters to Jewelers Mutual claiming the burglary occurred and items were reported stolen. At the request of Jewelers Mutual, the Osefos provided an initial list of 57 stolen items. Included on the list was Wendy's gold anniversary band that was reported in the Travelers claim. On April 22nd, Edward was interviewed during a recorded call and did not make any mention of the jewelry claim or payout with Travelers. So, essentially, I know that the burden will be on my office to show that Edward and Wendy conspired to make fraudulent statements and provided misleading information in support of making the 3 insurance claims for financial gain. I'd also note that some folks may view insurance fraud as an innocuous crime since it only affects insurance companies. That's certainly not true. Insurance fraud affects all of us in the form of increased premiums that we all bear. So we take those offenses very seriously.
It's a disgrace, it's an embarrassment. You didn't have to. You did not have to. You were on a huge platform where you could have pushed your businesses, of which you have, a weed company of which you guys have. And you could have made the money and more over time. It directly tells me that you don't believe in yourselves at all, because you want to have all of these flashy, fancy things to show off to everybody that you are successful, that you are this, but you are not. You are an imposter. You are a disgrace. You are an embarrassment. I don't know whether you are born in America, raised in America, but you are Nigerian Americans, and you have insulted the Americans, of whom gave you this beautiful opportunity of a certain lifestyle for yourself, for your children. And you could have worked hard and you could have achieved everything that you wanted. And you did not do that. Instead, you decided to cheat and you decided to lie. And on top of that, as brainless as you are now wearing pieces of the jewelry, your engagement ring, in public spaces. The police, the investigators, the insurance companies were aligned from the gate, because when they got to the residence, they could see that, this looks like smoke and mirrors. As intelligent as you are both very, very stupid. I don't mind to say it. I call it like it is. It's an embarrassment, because there are wonderful, wonderful, intelligent, aspiring Nigerians who would have loved to have the opportunity that you have and make a difference. And then the Americans embraced you. Americans embraced you. America embraced you. I said, well, they're Nigerian, but it's okay. They're our people. No problem. We'll support you. Everybody that watched that reality show supported you. As a matter of fact, Wendy, you were supposed to be on Wife Swap. They've chucked you right out because you were in the first episode, and that can be used as evidence, because we don't know whether you had the jewelry or the bags and all the flashy stuff in that can be used against you. So that they said, you know what, we don't want no parts. We're going to chuck you right out. It's an embarrassment and it's a disgrace, and you're going to go to prison. Eddie, you will go first. And then when you finish your time, Wendy, you will go, because somebody got to take care of the children. You've humiliated your families. There's nowhere for them to go. You're going to be known for this. And that's going to fall on your children too. For $400,000. You didn't say 40 million. Then I'd have said, okay, fine. You know what? It's something. I'm going to say this, guys, and Fumi Nation knows me because I even did an episode of it. Oh, Fumi, your house is so bare. Oh, you don't have anything in your house. Oh, you wear Shein. Oh, Fumi, you're always wearing a lot of high street fashion. Yes, I do. And I don't mind. You know why? I am not trying to impress anybody. I am not trying to impress anybody. Nada. I don't mind to have my little itty bitty savings in the account where my husband and I, we can pay our bills, we can pay our mortgage, we have clothes on our back, we have food in our tummies, and we can take care of our little son. That's it. That is it. If I don't have it, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't. Do I love fabulous things? Yes, I do. I live for fashion. I love runway. I love all of the designers. I live for them. And sometimes, you know what I do? I will go window shopping and I will wear them. I will feel them. I will touch them and I put them back. Because once I've worn them, I say to myself, and I do that a lot, is it worth it? No. I have school fees to pay. I've got the brand. I've got the brand. I just feel safer when I've got a little bit of money in the bank. Talking about money in the bank, I have found a fantastic accountant. Fantastic accountant. I'll put his information for you here. He is absolutely fantastic. For those of you in England and you are social media, you're entertainment, my God, he is fabulous. Again, like I said, my father used to tell me, give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's. Pay your taxes. Don't cheat. Don't try to shortchange your insurance claims and stuff like that. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Maybe because I'm very fearful, my heart will be beating. Like if somebody buzzes my bill, I'll be like, oh my God, they're coming after me. And a lot of people will think, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect us. Yes, it does. It affects all of us. It does. And I don't understand how you could be on this public platform and you think that you could get away with something like this. You think that you could get away. Look, they held a press conference because of how famous you are. You are celebrities. That's the shame of it. And you couldn't believe in yourself for $400,000, not even $500,000. Dollars, not pound sterling, dollars. You couldn't even believe in yourself to say, I can make this money. That goes to tell me that your weed business, you being on all of these shows and everything, is all hocus pocus. And that's what I want to tell Fumi Nation, especially the younger girls. When you go onto Wendy's Instagram page and you see all of these wonderful dresses and jewelry and bags, it's all hocus pocus. It is theft. It's all lies. You're a liar. Not allegedly, as fact. I am saying it as fact. Because the email stated, Eddie said, is there anything else that you would like to add to the insurance claim? Because I want us to get to the max of over $400,000. The email is not a lie. Or you want to say one of your children did it. Be careful now. It's very sad. I got emails all over. They were in my DMs. They were on YouTube. There was one girl who even told me, I wonder why Fumi is not talking about Wendy Osefo. I did not know who she was. I didn't. I know now. And I also particularly decided to do this episode because I am Nigerian and very proud. I am American and super duper proud. The thing is that you're always going to have one or two bad ones amongst us, all around the board. But I'm not going to make an excuse and then be on the defense and say, well, you also have fraudulent Americans. No, address this for what it is. It's bad. It's sad. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And it is unfortunate. And you guys have to do something with your hair. You're a hot mess. Eddie has this white chalk on his head. It's a hot mess. Don't you know that you're supposed to rub it off? Wendy, you always have this line of your wigs. That's why I dislike these wigs. I promise you, this is why I dislike them. Because when you laugh, you smile, you can see the line right across the head. It doesn't look natural to me. That's why I wore this wig. Yes, it's a wiggy. It's a wiggaloops. It's a wiggaloops. And I live and love it, my darlings. I'm supporting all of my wig makers and my wig business girlies, so to speak. It's very unfortunate, but I'm happy you got caught, because you would have gone on and on to do this. Why? I don't even understand. Why? Why? For what jewelry? For what bags that go out of season? 6 months. It's a quick rotation just to show off on the gram that I got this, I got that. Why? Doesn't mean anything to me. You don't like me? You don't think I'm fabulous? Do you know what? I don't mind. I really, really don't mind. I don't go with the Joneses. I do not. You know how many weddings, events, you have to come looking this, that, and the. You know what? I got what I got. If you don't want me there, please. That's okay by me. What's most important? What is most important is health. Health is priceless. If you said that you took this money to pay for an operation, I promise you I wouldn't feel the way that I do. But it is just very superficial. For what? Now, you've lost the money that you thought you got, you've lost more than that. In under a year and a half, you've lost your reputation. Eddie, I don't know whether you will practice law of all things. I don't know if you'll practice. Who would hire you? Not me. You lost your freedom. And forever you'll be known as a criminal. You came in from your holiday and you just ruffled some things in the house. And then you called the police. You think the police are as stupid as you. Then you wasted their time. And then you also lied to the police. That's an offense. Last time I checked. You're a hot mess. And I hope the book is thrown at you to the fullest extent of the law. Yes. Darlings, do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you what? I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love.